Hello, wonderful people out there. You're welcome to Rose's channel. It's always very beautiful to be here and to have a chat with you guys. So if you're here for the very first time, you're highly welcome to this channel. And this is the right place for you to be. Special welcome to the first timers. And today I'm gonna be talking about people that actually get married for wealth instead of for love. How they always end up, how their lives always turn up to be. For sure, everybody loves money because money answers all things. Without money, you can't really live a good life. For sure, we all know that. And we should also know that money is the root to all evil. Money can actually make somebody do what they're not supposed to do. You know, so money has power, but we should not let the power of money to control us. We should be the one to be in charge of money, to have power over money. Now, let's look at this group of people that actually marry for wealth. The one that actually chooses to marry for wealth. They know for sure that they don't love that person, but just because of the person's wealth, they go in and they get married to that person. I know it's so, how will I put this? It's just so unfortunate that people chooses to be miserable in their lives because of wealth. You know, instead of having their complete life and be joyful. Some people just choose to be miserable in their comfort. But these kind of people, at the end of the day, they always regret it. Because at a point, they would have enjoyed the money so much, they would have driven all kinds of cars, they would have lived in so many big houses, and do everything that, they always wanted to do with money. And at a point, they will get tired of those things. And now they will sit back, and now they will begin to look for the real thing, which is love. And by then, it will be too late for them. It will be too late, because sometimes at that point, maybe, they're quite old, or maybe they've gotten children in that relationship that they went in just because of money or just because of wealth. And now they want to pull out. And for the sake of the children, they can't pull out. And they will have to just remain there and remain miserable all their lives. So that's number one lesson to learn, that it is not good for you to marry, for wealth. And then another group of people that actually go into this kind of marriage are the ones, like the young children, that their parents actually are the ones that force them into, marrying someone because of the person's wealth or because of the person's money. These are the group of people that I actually feel so sorry for, because it has never been their desire to go into such relationship. It has never been their desire to go into such marriages, but their parents will just force them. The guardians will just force them to go into such, and you see those people having miserable life. They can never be happy in their lives because their parents has actually sold out their joy for money, for wealth. And I really feel sorry for such children. We all know that these things happen. We hear, we see, we witness these things happen. It's not like I'm bringing a fairy tale here. These are true life stories. These are things that actually happen to real people, real children. And I had that experience actually, But thank God I was able to pull myself out. Like when I was 18 years old, I went to visit my senior cousin, and she used to have this friend that she liked so much. And at a point, she decided this guy must marry someone from her family because of so much love that she had for this guy. And she just felt I was the right person to marry this guy, without me, you know, making up my mind to marry this person. She just felt, yes, I can just push Rosemary to marry this guy because I like him so much and this guy is so wealthy. So I can't really let him go like that. This money or this wealth must just remain in my family. And at a point when this guy comes to the house, this is how she just went about the whole thing. And when this guy comes to the house, he'll bring a lot of things and give it to her. But she will not call me on the side. She'll be like, this guy bought these things for you. Just accept it. I'll be like, why is he buying these things for me? He bought it for the house, for everybody. She will insist that this guy bought these things for me. And I should go and tell him thank you. So I'll just go to the guy. I will tell him thank you so much for the things. And at a point, if this guy comes to the house, if he's going back to his car, if he's going back home, she will now force me to walk this guy to his car. She was just trying to force me into this guy by all means, So I just noticed that something was going wrong, So I started watching her and this guy. At a point, they were making plans to go to my village without my own knowledge, to go and do everything they're supposed to do to marry a wife. And then they will come back and meet me and tell me to just go and marry this guy. That was how the whole thing was, just planned. But God helped me. I overheard them making these evil plans. So I just had to leave that house. I had to leave that place. I left the house. I had to go and stay with a friend of mine, for some time before I was able to, fix my life well. So what am I trying to say? It is really, really wrong to do that to a child. It's so wrong to sell out your child's happiness, to sell out your child's life just for money, just to satisfy yourself, just to enrich yourself, and just to keep belonging to the high society as someone who is rich. This is so bad. And you just forget everything about how that child is going to feel, how the life of that child is going to be, how miserable that child will be. Hey, man, such parents are evil. That's all I can say about such parents. Such mother, such father are just evil. Selling out your child for money. Because you've actually sold out that child. You sold out that child. It takes two to tango. And two cannot be together or cannot work together except they agree. So there will not be peace in that house. There will be no joy in that house because she does not love him. You actually forced that child into that relationship, into that marriage, which is so bad. And this thing happens every day. Even as I'm talking to you now here, it's still happening. Someone is still going through this. And it's not supposed to be so. It's not supposed to be so, guys. So if you're a mother, you're doing this to your child. You don't love that child. You've already killed that child. You've destroyed that child's life. That child has no life at all. There's no life in that child. That child is just like a dead person walking, living a miserable life. It's so sad. When you know that all your life you're just going to be miserable. You never be joyful. You never be happy. You never be loved. Even for the man that is marrying that person, you that have the money and wants to marry a child or a woman that does not love you, you yourself, you're going to be miserable. You should think, because you'll never be happy. That wife of yours is not happy with you. And you've left the original person that is your wife, because we all have our husbands and wives that God has created for us. Some men just want to marry that young child because she's so young. They don't want to marry someone that has been touched by another man. They want to marry a virgin. So they will just go and destroy that child's life. They will not allow that child to grow up and make her own choice or his own choice. That is so bad. That is so horrible. It's so horrible. I used to have a client, a female client, and when you see her, she was looking very young, you know. And I never in my life believed that at that time I get to know her, she was even married, to talk of having children. So, one day I happens to, you know, be at her house, and she's married to this very rich man, very rich, very, very rich man. And they have such a big, beautiful house. So when I was in the husband was on the other side of the house, very far from where the wife was, just busy with his phone. And the wife was here, very far from where the husband was. And she was also busy with the phone. And somehow I overheard so many guys calling her and just talking to her, calling her baby, love, and all that. So I couldn't just bear it. I was forced to ask her, what is going on? She said, my friend, you will not understand. I said, make me understand. I said to her, make me understand. Because I don't understand. I mean, since I've been with you for a few hours now, so many guys, different guys has been calling you. And the way you're talking with these guys on the phone is not like the casual friends. They sound like your lover or your lovers. So make me understand what is going on. So she was able to tell me how her parents forced her when she was like 14 years old to marry this same man. And the man has always been rich, you know. So the parents were poor at that time. So they had to force her to marry this man that she never loved in her life. You can imagine a young girl of 14 years. And she was forced to marry a man. You can imagine how old that man would be at that time. Because the man was already very rich, based on her story. It's so sad. And I'm telling you guys, today that woman is suffering. She's dead. As in, she's just a dead corpse walking. She's dead on the inside. She doesn't feel like she has life. She's gone, completely gone. She's just there, and I promise you, I don't know. I don't want to confess this, but I don't know how long she will live. Because she's so miserable. She's just so miserable. There's no single connection between her and the husband. Even the children that she has for this man, no connection. For the few hours I was there, I could not see one single connection between the man and the children, the man and the wife. No love, no connection at all. So you can imagine such life. It's so sad. It's so sad. And each time I remember this lady, I always feel, sorry for her. So why would a father or a mother pushes her own daughter or her own child into such bondage? Such parents are evil. They're just so evil. They just want to enrich themselves. They just want to be happy. And using their own child as a sacrificial lamb for themselves to be happy. It's so sad. It's so horrible. So guys, if you're such a parent, if you're such mother, father that has been doing this to your children, you've killed them. You have killed your children. You're a murderer. I have to say it that way. You're actually a murderer. And if you're out there, you are thinking of doing this to your own child, to your own children, stay away from such behavior. Don't be evil. Don't kill the joy of that your child. Do not destroy the life of your child for the sake of money. Think of the joy of that child. Think of the life of your child. If you really love that child of yours, you will not want to punish your child that way. It's so horrible to live like that. It's horrible. And even kill themselves. Sometimes they're even thinking will just kill them before their time. You're actually helping them to send them to early grave. It's not supposed to be that way. We should allow our children to make their choice, especially when it comes to marriage. Because marriage is not something that you jump in and you jump out. Marriage is supposed to be, life thing until death do you part. And you can't live like that all through your life like that, being miserable. It's so horrible. So parents out there, please, if you're thinking of doing this to your child, please don't do it. It is not good. Think of the joy, the happiness of that your child. Think of the life of that your child. Please, don't do it. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. We all know that these things happened. They do happen. Children are suffering like that. And even the man, like I said earlier, how will you feel yourself as a man to marry someone that is not your wife? Your wife is out there and you don't want to look for her. You're marrying somebody else's wife. And you're also making yourself miserable, because when that woman is miserable, there's no way you'll be happy with her. She will never be herself when she's with you. So you yourself can never be happy. So why do you choose to punish yourself, even with your money? That you can marry someone that loves you and you love that person. Why do you want to destroy that young girl's life? Why? Why do you want to do that? Because you have money. Why? And why do you also want to destroy your own life? Because when she's not happy with you, you will also be miserable. So why not do the right thing at the right time? You have a wife, because before you were created, God had also created a woman for you, had also created a man for you. Why not look for the right person for you that will make you happy? Why pushing yourself on the wrong person and become miserable? Let's think. Let us think about this issue so that we don't have to live miserable lives. Life is too short to just live and be miserable all through. 120 years for this generation still is not enough. It is not enough. So don't make yourself miserable when you can make yourself happy with someone who really cares about you. Don't force yourself on that woman. Don't force yourself on that girl. Don't force yourself on that man. Just because you need wealth or just because you have money. So he chooses to suffer someone who does not love you. Because when you force them, there's nothing on earth that you do that will make this person to change her mind or his mind towards you. They don't love you. They don't love you. That's just the way it is. So let's look into this matter and do what is right. And just do what is right, so that we don't have to live miserable lives. Thank you, guys. And parents out there, this advice is for you. Please don't force your child to get married to a man or a woman because of wealth. If you do that, I see you as a murderer, because that child's life has been taken away from that child. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you for doing the right thing at the right time. Remain blessed.